Well, there it is. Okay. Hello, hello. Um, how are y'all doing? Um, the light that is coming in is very bright, and unfortunately, there is not much I can do about it. But I guess it just kind of looks like there's like kind of like a halo behind me now. Um, hey, what's up? What's up? So, Jalen, welcome. Congratulations on being first. You were here, I am assuming, before even I was. Hello, Sean. Hello, Pauline. And Eric. Hello. Welcome. Um, so, I hope you guys had fun watching me fiddle around with my lapel mic. I'm still not entirely used to the fact that I need to clip on my lapel mic before I start streaming. So apologies for that. But anyway, I hope you guys are doing really well. Let's see, where am I at today? So I did have to get up a little bit early today for a meeting, and that was really fun. Hopefully, you guys will be able to see all the fun things that I have planned for the next year. Yeah, that's all I can really say about it. It's exciting. And well, so yeah, I am a little bit sleepy as a result. I didn't sleep that well last night. I ended up waking up just on my own at 6:40 and could not go back to sleep. So, safe to say I'm a little bit sleep deprived. So that might, have an effect on today's practice stream and how I sound. Don't know. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now. Is there anything else? No, I don't think so. Deanna, hello. Hello, hello. Yeah, totally not sponsored by Rode. Totally not. Actually not. But yeah, I do have what? 1, 2, 3, 4. I basically have 4 Rode microphones now, and this stand here is also by Rode. Sorry, give me a second, guys. I realize that you can probably hear some rustling as I do this, but I did want to tie my hair back because it is not the most presentable today. So we're just gonna tie it back, just so it's not in the way while we play. But yeah, if you guys ever wondered what I look like just at home, very relaxed and nothing, like I'm not trying to look that presentable to go out or something, this is what I look like. I was just kind of feeling the Friday casual today, Oh no, Michael, you're still not, fever still hasn't broken. I'm so sorry. Make sure you take care of yourself. Get a lot of rest, drink a lot of water. You are going to Nam this year. I forget what that stands for. So about. What does it stand for? Why is it so hard to find on their website what NAMM stands for? Do you know? I am on the about page for NAM. It's like North America. Is it like music something? Music merchants. Got it. There we go. You know, when you go on their website, it is surprisingly difficult to, like, I still do not see where they actually list out what the acronym means. That's so funny. Yeah. Or like unless I'm blind, but I still can't find it. That's really funny. Anyway, I have heard of NAM before. That is really cool. So the NAM show is let's see. It is happening very soon on the 25th. 25th to 28th at the Anaheim Convention Center. Wow. Very cool. Wow, this is an absolutely huge, a huge convention. So, oh, got it. It's a great place to look at gear. Oh, so interesting. Man, I'd like to go sometime too. That'd be really cool. Wow. I'm just looking at the website. That is very cool. Eric, thank you so much for saying that. I still remember making that video of me just like cooking while just talking about random things. I'm glad I didn't look too much like a hobo there. All right. All right, yeah, Deanna, you're also in sweats, fuzzy robe, and a knit cap. Yeah. Sean, are you also looking at the NAM website? It's actually surprising that, like, even if you go to the about page, it does not actually, you would think that it would be listed right up at the top, that it's like, you know, National Association of Music Merchants. See, I thought it was like North America or something, but no, it's National Association of Music Merchants. Well, Michael, just keep resting, and if things don't go quite right, go see the doctor again. Yeah. This is it's really big. Yeah, I've heard of the NAM. Very cool that you're gonna go check out some of their stuff. Ruth, hello and welcome back. Hope you're doing well. Okay, so, well, guys, I just want to say that I have been feeling so fulfilled and happy because I get to stream. Like I feel like I have finally found a way to be consistent while still allowing for my like teaching schedule and my my other content creation to happen. I was thinking more about what I said yesterday about video editing, and you know, now that I'm saying it more out loud, I think I need to scale back on how crazy I go with the editing. I do think I need to scale back on that. So I hope you guys won't mind me coming out with, you know, not as high production edited videos. I feel like most of my production is going into the live streams. And to be honest, that is where I'm finding my joy. So, you know, but I do want to keep putting some edited videos out there because like it's fun, and I feel like maybe I've been trying to be a little too high key about it, you know. So big snowstorm coming in Chicago. Oh boy. Chilling for a while between shoveling. Oh man. Oh man, that is such a workout. Shoveling is such a workout. I'm so glad, Pauline, that the candle blowing and the warm hand blowing thing worked for you. I did see your message that you dropped in the chat yesterday. And like, thank you for telling me. That's so sweet of you to come back and report back. I'm really glad it helped. I do want to add that everything that you are trying is good. However, don't be shy to explore a little more, because you know the way that playing the flute works from person to person is unique, a little different from person to person. Some general principles do, you know, they do apply to different people. So for example, this like candle versus warm hand blowing, like the forward and back blowing does generally apply. The concept applies, but the way that it manifests is a little bit different. So for example, for some flutes, that forward position, the candle blowing position, is a lot more forward than other flutes. And then for other flutes, the back blowing, the like blowing with warm air for high notes, is way further back, or sometimes it's not as far back. You know what I mean? So you have to see how your flute responds to you. And a great way to do that is to practice harmonics. So yeah, I just wanted to, you know, put a little add on there that I don't profess to give advice that's like a quick pill. Okay, it's what I like to give you guys is sort of like a starter pack. So it's like, this is kind of your starter pack information for you to know like some generalizations of how most flutes work, and then that gives you at least like something to start with, so you don't have to start from like square zero, you know. So I just wanted to make sure I put that out there. I do not profess to be a person who can just give you guys like a quick fix. It's just that I happen to know some things that will help you continue on your journey, maybe a little faster. That's all. So, yeah. How'd the appraisal come back? It came back much higher. So I did have to pay a little extra on my insurance. Yeah, it did come back higher. So thank you so much for booping me to get the appraisal done. We also, I think this is going to be good information for you guys too. So like, I asked for the Flute Center's suggestion on how to group all my items together, and they suggested that because I bring the Monka head joint around with the body, the Brannon body, all the time, that in your insurance, the way that it should show up is that the Monka and the Brannon are together as one item, and then my Brannon head joint was a separate item. And then I have my Monka piccolo. Oh, sorry, not Monka, Nagahara piccolo. Mopani wood. All M's. Okay, anyway. So we did kind of like rejigger how all my different instruments are grouped together. And I think that is great, because if anything happens to this flute, it's this specific combo that needs to be insured. So for anyone out there who has like a different head joint, like a different brand head joint that you take with your flute, that's actually a great tip that I learned from the Flute Center. So group your instruments together according to how you actually bring them around in your insurance, and that will be better for you. Yeah. So thank you, Sean. I do appreciate you booping me completely. It completely escaped my mind until you mentioned it. Gary, meep meep, back to you. How are you? Welcome back. Um, so, Void, just so you know, typically, once you find a head joint that does work for you, typically it is fitted to your flute. So they will either narrow it very slightly, which I hear is much harder, or they will widen it slightly. So I believe the Monka head joints are actually designed for the neck part of it, the tenon, to be narrower so that you can try it on more flutes. You just put a little bit of like copper tape on it or something, or just even just regular Scotch tape on it, so that just to thicken it up a little bit so it won't slip out of your flute while you try it. So yeah, if a company is, at least that's how Monka does it. If they are marketing their head joints to be played on other flutes, especially, just like if they're just marketing just head joints, basically, they do actually design it so that there is a higher possibility of trying that flute on other flutes. Yeah. So it's not really about whether your flute is low end or not. It really is dependent on literally physically the bore of your flute. So like the diameter. Yeah. So if you are finding that no head joint fits your flute in terms of like it won't even go in, then it just so happens that the bore of your flute is narrower than most flutes. I would say my Brannon is actually like that. Brannons tend to be a little bit narrower. Yeah. So yeah, that's how it works. It's pretty cool in my opinion. What this means for me is that I historically have had an issue trying head joints with my flute because my flute is so narrow. So I'm actually really happy that I bought a backup flute, the Trevor James copper alloy. I think that one, the diameter of the bore is actually a little bit bigger than my Brannon. At least the entire flute feels a little bit bigger to me. So, you know, I have the hope that I will be able to try more head joints because I have a flute that allows me to, you know, like try wider bore head joints. Yeah, so that was kind of a in the back of my mind reason to get a better backup flute. I just wanted a good solid flute that could, where I could try a whole bunch of different head joints on the same body, you know, just in case they don't fit on my professional model. So, Ruth is asking if there's a difference between hearing the flute tone digitally versus in person. You feel like you haven't figured out what tone you like because you're not sure you've heard the tone you think you've heard. That is a very loaded question and a very good question. So this is something that I have been wrestling with for a long time. And this is why I have come up with my setup here. My setup here is not your typical recording setup for like a studio recording. What I'm trying to achieve here is a recorded version or a digital version of something that is as close as possible to how I think I sound in this room. So this room has high ceilings. And so there's kind of like, there's a lot of room for the sound to bounce around. And that is ideal for a flute because when you play the flute, a lot of the charm of the sound of the flute, of the timbre of the flute, really comes from the room that you're playing in. If you play in a very dead room, the tone of the flute, no matter how nice your flute is, will sound kind of dead, muted, kind of like a very like one note, one color, one dimensional, and it doesn't sound great. So a lot of how nice a flute sounds is how it reverberates through a room. So that's why I love this office, because this office has high ceilings and it allows for the sound to bounce around. So what I've done here is, like, I did a bunch of research, and I noticed that what I probably had to do, because recording an acoustic, like, classical flute, I realized I still needed to get some up close sound so you guys could actually hear the articulation and, you know, like little nuances in the sound. So I realized that I needed to have a microphone somewhat closer to me, but I really needed microphones that capture the reverb, the natural reverb of the room. So what I have, like, in terms of my flute microphones, when I switch to this, you'll hear it's a lot boomier. It really sounds like I'm like in a boomy room when I switch to this one, and it's because I have one microphone, one condenser microphone that's about, I want to say 2 to 3 feet away from me, more like 3 feet, I would say, something like that. 3 feet away from me, and then I have 2 stick microphones that are the type that you would use to record a choir, right? Because if you record a choir, you're also more or less recording room sound, how the choir reverberates in the room. So essentially the way that I have figured out to, you know, record myself digitally here in this room in a way that is representative of how it sounds in real life, is a mix of recording an acoustic guitar and recording a choir. So I've mixed the two together, and it seems to have done the trick. My earlier reviews that were completely, like, you know, edited and pre-filmed, they were done in a slightly less like a slightly less technological way. So what I did was, I had a USB condenser microphone about 2-3 feet away from me as I was playing, and then I had a separate recording device. It's just a Zoom H1 handy recorder, and I had it on the opposite end of the room, and that was a tiny room that I was in. It was a 9.5 by 11 room, and all of my entire life was like smashed in there, and it was a very dead room. That's why I really had to have my second microphone on the, like, opposite corner of the room, because that's the furthest away that microphone could be. And then what you do is, you, in post-production, in editing, you lower the volume of the microphone that's closer to you, and you raise the volume of the microphone that's further away from you. So you balance it such that it matches the way it sounds in real life. So you do have to kind of just listen a lot and then figure out the balance. So essentially what's going on here, when I switch to my flute microphones, is I have already balanced it on this mixer here. So there's 3 microphones that are connected to this mixer, and I have raised the gain of the stick microphones that are further away from me, and then the condenser microphone that is in front of me, it's slightly lowered. Yeah, that's exactly what's happened. So I just double checked to make sure I'm not lying to you guys, and yes, that's exactly what I did. So there you go. So I have tried my best to digitally recreate for you guys how I, at least to my perception, what you guys are hearing is as close as I can get it to my perception of how I sound in this room. Thank you for listening to my TED Talk. Yeah. Yes. There you go. So Sean's mentioning here that like it's very tricky to get it to sound right with a single microphone. Yes, I completely agree. Because if the microphone is too far away, you sound like you're too far away. If the microphone is too close to you, you end up maxing out the volume immediately. So, yeah. Um there you go. See? You guys are all noticing I sound further away when I do this versus when I'm using my lapel microphone. Yep. Yep, there you go. That buzzing sound on your microphone, if you're recording yourself on the flute. So this happens a lot. People will just use their phones and put it on their music stand, and they'll just use their phone to record themselves practicing or, you know, playing a tune or whatever. And you'll notice that like the sound is awful when you do that, because you have to think there's quite a few things happening. One is we're way too close to the microphone in that case. You're about like a foot away. And that is way too close. You will absolutely immediately max out the microphone. That's one thing. The other thing is it kind of also depends on the type of music stand you have. If you have like a metal music stand, it is also bouncing the sound immediately around that microphone, which makes it even worse. Like you could potentially somewhat get away with it if you have one of those music stands where it's just like a wire, you know, and so you don't have that immediate bounce back, you know, of just like a full metal plate, essentially. Yeah. So, yeah, in my experience, you sound the most like yourself on a single recording device if that single recording device is about 5 feet away from you. So does this mean you probably have to get a tripod? Yeah. Yes, you probably have to get, but the good news is that tripods, especially like smartphone tripods, are really cheap these days. So yeah, if you want something that sounds the most like you, 5 feet away from you is ideal. So it's still not as accurate as if you're to have multi microphones, at least 2 microphones, and mixed, such that, yeah, the one closer to you is softer and the one further away from you is louder. It's still not as good as that, but it's better. Like, you know, because it's kind of like an in-between solution. Yeah. Oh, the other thing too is that if they can't hear you if you're 5 feet away, you do also need to check that you're like if you are on live video, so if you're on a live chat, what is likely happening is some sort of noise canceling. So each like if you use Zoom or if you use even like Google Chat or like, sorry, Google Meet, Skype, etc. I think it depends on the device or it depends on the app. You should go into the settings to see if there is noise canceling, and you need to turn that off if you're going to have music lessons. So because if you leave it on, because the sound of the flute does not sound like you talking, it will just noise cancel it out entirely. Yeah. Okay, so you do turn on the musician setting. Yeah, in that case, you know, I'm not sure exactly what's happening there. The other thing to keep in mind as well is that live video and recorded video, even on the same device, the quality difference is crazy, absolutely crazy. So what I tend to do is if my students are comfortable with it, I ask them to send me short little clips, recorded clips, and the quality is so much better, even if they're using the exact same device that they are live chatting with me with. Man, the it's an insane quality difference if it's just recorded rather than also, you know, essentially what you're doing is you're streaming yourself to the other person when you're video chatting. So yeah, exactly. It's something in the way that the stream is encoded. Yep. So it essentially what happens is that when you're on live video, it typically when you are chatting with someone else, what these video chat apps are doing is compressing your video and your audio like crazy to be able to send it off essentially almost immediately within milliseconds, right? You guys are probably wondering then, hey, Joanna, why is your live stream so dang clear? And it is because I am not compressing it that much. I believe, yeah, I am sending it out at a bit rate of 8,000 kilobytes per second, which is not really something that feasible to do via video chatting. So yeah, I am trying not to compress too much. Yes, it is, yes, compressed a bit. It is compressed, what you guys are seeing here. But it's not as compressed as if you are doing like a video chat, live video chat. Yeah, yep. So I think on either side, you don't want the noise suppression. Yeah. Oh, shoot. Original audio in Zoom, only one person on the Zoom can enable it or you get feedback. Interesting. Are both of you wearing headphones? Because ideally, at least one person should be wearing headphones. But the most ideal is if both people wear headphones. Because if both people wear headphones, then you don't get that feedback loop. Yeah, exactly. There you go. Voice optimized chat also cuts off the high frequency. There you go. Neither of you guys wear headphones. You guys both should wear headphones. 100%. Like, if you want the audio to be good, like fairly decent, you have to wear headphones. Yeah, there's no way around it. Because otherwise you will get that feedback, especially if you're using the original audio. Yeah, because your microphones are, if you're using original audio, your microphones are picking up just any and all sound it hears. It's not trying to decipher which thing to block out and which one to let through. Yeah. So yeah, anytime you're on a call, the most ideal is if both of you have headphones on. Absolutely most ideal. So does this mean I wear earphones or headphones to teach all my lessons? Yes, I do. If I'm hearing feedback from my students, I will ask them to wear headphones. If I don't hear feedback, then I let it go. You know, there's no point. It doesn't matter. It's working just fine. But yeah, if I do hear feedback, I will request my students to wear headphones. Yeah. I'm very tickled that you guys seem to be interested in this kind of techie talk. Clearly, I have thought about it way too much. Okay, I better start practicing. I can see that I, you know, got a little excited there. So let's start taking out our instrument. Yes, yes, you get to hear the sound of me playing today. I have had a student or two tell me that they would be okay with me teaching a lesson live on stream. I think at the moment right now, I'm just going to be completely real with you. Right at this moment, I don't feel like it. So I think we will save that for when I'm actually excited to do something like that. Because I personally am of the opinion that you can really tell if the streamer actually wants to stream what they're streaming. I want to be actually excited to stream myself teaching someone. So yeah. Oh, that's the other thing. Officer. Is it Vlad? Is Vlad, right? Your name's Vlad. So, these were a gift from Meze in exchange for reviewing their earphones and headphones. This is not a noise canceling headphone. These are headphones that are designed for listening to music. The wood really does make a difference. So I find that I cannot stand noise canceling headphones. To me, it warps the sound of what I'm listening to. I think it's because I just can't hear around it. So I prefer headphones that are not noise canceling. And this one in particular, I really like because it is designed for listening to music. And so I noticed that ever since I started using Meze earphones and headphones, are they expensive? Yes, they're expensive. But I have been using this for like, I don't know, like almost 10 years. Yeah, they're, as a music teacher, it really makes me feel like I'm in the same room as the other person, which is ideal for teaching music. I would say these earphones are a close second. They're just like, these headphones are just like a little better than this. But I teach with this a lot. So it really just kind of depends on my mood that day. So I actually have both my earphones and headphones sitting here. Yeah. So if you guys are interested, I'm not paid by them at all. It's just I've enjoyed their products for a very long time now, for almost 10 years. But yeah, Meze headphones, M-E-Z-E, or if you're Canadian, or just not from America, M-E-Z-E. Okay, so Meze, they're fantastic. I did remember your name, Vlad. Fantastic. Eric, you remain available to teach. I will let you know when I feel like it. But yeah, I've decided just not to hide it, that there's just some types of streams that maybe I did do before and I really enjoyed, but at the moment, I just don't feel like doing it. And right now, I just don't feel like teaching while I'm on stream. So Sean, you're saying noise cancelers are great on a plane, but that's about it. I can't even stand it on a plane. I get claustrophobic. So maybe it's just a me thing. Guys, it really can just be a Joanna perception thing. Whenever I put on noise canceling, like even earplugs, okay? Like the earplugs that I got here, the loop earplugs. So these ones actually let sound through. And when I wore them on the airplane, I gave myself, like, I triggered my own claustrophobia. It was bad. It was bad. Like, and you can still hear things through this. So you can imagine what I'm like if I try to wear like noise canceling stuff. It's a bad time for me. Yeah. I'm not surprised, like, looking at all of you guys' like response here, I am not in the least surprised that musicians hate noise canceling headphones and earphones and whatever. It's just not that surprising to me, you know? Like, we like listening to stuff. We like hearing things. And I feel like when something blocks you from being able to hear something, I feel like it's just the most unnatural thing to us. I feel, at least, that is part of what's happening here. Okay, wonderful. So I'm just getting situated here. Oh, hello. Hello? Oh, what the heck happened to this? Oh, I'm so stupid. I'm pressing the wrong button, guys. All right, what's happening here? Give me a second. Tech malfunction. I forget. What the configure. Oh, I found it. Okay. Give me a sec. Let me see what the heck is going on here. Is the USB dead? Oh, I think. Don't tell me my USB is dead. Oh, wait. Okay, I think I know what might be happening. Give me a second, guys. There are too many cords behind here. My goodness. Okay, so it's this thing. Which is... Okay. Does it recognize this now? Oh. No. Okay. I'm going to guess that that is dead. So I'm going to... This is going to look so janky for now, but... Does it recognize it now? Yep. Okay, so something happened with the USB connector here. Well, that's fun. Because now that I think about it, I think what probably happened was, yeah, so what probably happened was when I raised the desk, I think it unplugged something. So I'm gonna have to figure that out later, guys. Okay. Now, if I do this, okay, there we go. It works. Oh my goodness. Sorry about that, guys. I was like, what the heck is going on? But there we go. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. Whoa! Tech problems. Okay. I don't think I can go for a full hour. Tech problems, tech problems. That one will blame on the tech. Wait, I'm gonna see how Hubs is doing. Okay, I'm gonna see if John is up for eating a slightly later lunch. Because if he is, then we can go an hour. We'll see what he says. Yeah. Okay. Oh, there's a part of me that's like, you know what it could be too? Is that it could be that these monitors are getting a little old and maybe that one USB port just died. That could also be the case too. One day when my studio gets, when I clean my studio, yeah, I'll probably do a tour. That sounds fun. Is Hubs my resident tech? Yes, he was the one who built this for me, and helped me like configure it and everything. So yes, he is. He also built this computer too for me. It's just that I, you know, have been trying to learn enough to be self-sufficient. All right, Hubs is not replying right now, so we're gonna get started practicing, and we'll start the countdown now, and then we'll see what he says as I keep going. Okay, let's just go. Here we go. So we'll start with harmonics. All right, I'm not mad about that. I'm not mad. I think we'll leave that pretty good range for both up and down. So we will go for it. So yesterday we were really thinking about moving like our air forward. So we'll think more. Oops, sorry guys, wrong one. There we go. All the scuff is just happening today. The scuff is just happening. Okay, so we are starting from the moving notes and then slurring to the like root notes. Okay, let's do this. Nearly. Sorry, my heater went on. I just turned that off. Low B could use a little bit more, like of the correct positioning, but that's better than it has been on the previous days, so I'll take it. I'm gonna work a little bit more on that low B, make sure I'm not overshooting it down, and I need to actually like put my muscles in the right spot for them. Okay. We're definitely getting better at that. Definitely getting better. It's just that number 8 uses A as the repeated note. Okay, Hubs is fine with us going until for the whole hour. Okay, we going. Ooh, okay, not bad. I think I want to do number 4 as well, which is play it as written. I'm feeling it, so let's do it. Okay. Yeah, I'm not mad about it. Not mad about it. Okay. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Yes. Yes. That is the way I have been wanting it to feel in the last few days. Yes, 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 yes. We doing it. Oh, I'll be sure to let Hubs know that you guys said thank you. Honestly, most of it being so late was my own fault, but the techie mishap here was not my fault. Okay. Feeling good. We're definitely like you know, continuing with the thought process in the last few days. So I'm not mad about that. Let's do a little bit of circular breathing. Okay, I'm getting used to the feeling of inhaling while pushing air out. There used to be. Yes, there used to be, but now, if you want links to the music, it's just in the description box. So I figured, if you want links to the music, it's in the description box below. Have fun. It's better. I'm still getting used to the actual like feeling like I'm doing a full inhale while pushing. It's like I feel like I can do it like it feels like one every 6 or 7 times right now, which is arguably better than before. So we'll leave it at that. Let's do 480 exercises. We're doing 74. Ryan, welcome back to the stream. How are you? You just learned one of Ibert's pieces. That's awesome. That is great. And Sean, yeah, you see the... Yeah, I figured that it was kind of redundant to have a command for it when like it's just in the description box. But okay, so 74 we're doing. Okay. Oh, fun. So this is scale in thirds of some sort. I believe this is in D flat major. Okay. Okay. We'll do this. What Ibert piece did you learn, Ryan? I'm curious. Okay, let's do this. So definitely some, like, I'm not sure if you noticed, but I hope you guys noticed it getting better with each repetition. So I was figuring out what to visualize. And so in particular, I needed to visualize the hump over the high notes, going from G flat to A flat. Weirdly was like my fingers didn't really want to do that. And then I needed to properly visualize going through the low notes. And I would always think I'm in the clear by the time I hit D flat when I came back up. But I'm not in the clear until I play that F after it. So I wasn't visualizing the F properly. So I do want to do it one more time just to kind of solidify everything that I was figuring out in those 4 repetitions. The top bit is fine, but not the bottom bit. So I'm going to work on the bottom bit. Let's do one more pass up and down, maybe twice through. I'm not visualizing properly. I'm happy with that now. Happy with that. Is there a trick to learning to smooth the transition from E to F? Are you talking about middle register E to F? That's what I'm assuming you are asking about. Gary, octaves? Not octaves. If you're talking about middle register E to F, there is a trick. So I just learned it last year, sometime in the last year. So Nicholas Flute, also known as Just Another Flute Guy, he sometimes pops in the chat when he has time. I believe he just finished his master's, I think, but his professor said, gave him a great trick for that middle register E, and it absolutely works. So you want to aim a little bit lower than you think you need to, just a hair, because most of us actually aim way too high on that middle register E because we're trying to not play the low register E. But for to nail that E, like aim a little bit lower, but put in like more support than you think it needs. So like make sure you're supporting with the muscles in front of your pelvis. Put in more air, aim a little lower, and the sound that comes out is a lot more stable and rich. And then when you flip up to the F, you have to kind of get used to flipping back to how you normally play it. So you're kind of flipping between two ways of playing. So, sorry. I know that kind of sounds like I'm not doing anything different between the two, but the E actually feels like I'm aiming lower and then I'm flipping up for the F. So you'll have to do a little bit of experimentation on your flute though. But so far I have taught this trick to quite a few students and it has seemed to work for mostly everyone. So this to me seems like this is kind of like it. That middle register E is just the bane of everyone's existence. It just has to do with how the flute is constructed, because that is the first note that you play. That is a harmonic, actually. It's a straight harmonic of its lower octave counterpart. So because of that, I think you have to treat it very differently than how it's kind of like the way that you get a nice rich tone when you do harmonics on low C, one octave above it. It feels exactly the same. So if we're doing a harmonic, I'm actually doing exactly the same thing. If I flip up the octave, in order to get a nice rich tone, I am actually aiming a little hair lower than I think I need to, and putting in more power. It's weird. It's weird. Like you are kind of like angling it up a little bit, but not too much, if that makes sense. That's your E. So I hope that is helpful. Yeah, it definitely is. It's not a U thing. Just to be clear, it's a flute thing. Everybody has trouble with the E to F. Exactly what Sean said. It's an embouchure change between E and F. And so that's where the practice part comes in, right? Because the practice part comes in so that you're used to doing that switch between E to F. Yeah. Okay. Well, I feel like I got some good work done with the moyis. So let's update our thing here. We're doing 207 next. Okay, great. So let me, which by the way, we are doing number 9 next time for this one. And this one is 207. Wonderful. Great, great, great. Okay, so we're done that. Let's head on over to the Ibert. And we did the first page yesterday, so we're actually on the second page. So I'll just say Q6. It's close enough. You guys can find where I am. So Q6. There we go. Okay. Let's give this a go. There. Cool. I'm so sorry. RIP headphones users. Ooh. I like that idea. I need a desk LED that tells me which mic config I'm in. That's a really good idea. I really like that idea. Now I'm thinking about how to actually hook that up. So it needs to change color according to the key that I am. So it needs to fire off at the same time that interesting. I will consider it. Thank you. Okay, there's something going on with my left ring finger. So I'm gonna go back and play that slow, this last fast bit, and then fast, and then slow, and then fast. So I'm gonna compare what my finger is doing. So I think that I am prematurely, well, I shouldn't ever be doing this anyway, but I think in my effort to play D naturals, when I'm approaching D naturals, I think I'm flattening this finger. Like, it's like I'm winding up for it, but I don't need to do that. So I think whenever I see a D natural coming up, I need to just keep my finger relaxed. I'm gonna try that and see if that works. It definitely has to do with the D naturals. Definitely. So I think I'm freaking out around the D naturals. That's what it feels like to me. Like I start to flail and I flatten my fingers. So it's actually taking a lot of focus for me to keep my fingers relaxed and not flattened when I see a D coming up. So we're gonna try it a few more times and then leave it. I think the other one is F. High F natural. Maybe it's the high F natural, not the D. I'm going to try it again. It's rickety. It's rickety. I do it better when I'm not looking at the music too, because I think I can actually focus on what my fingers are doing. Again. Okay, I think yeah, it definitely has to do with the F naturals, I think. So the F naturals, I think I am like, I think it's just because the fingering is forked and I'm like kind of, I got used to flailing. So I need to keep calm. And I noticed one thing that I was doing as well was when I started to focus too much on the fingers, I would actually pull the end of the flute back towards me, which does me no favors. So I need to make sure I keep my flute further out and thus bring the keys closer to my left hand fingers. And I do it a lot better that way. Yeah. Lifting, oh, interesting. So lifting left hand to alone tends to force a change in the hand position. Yeah, I feel it. So Vlad, the reason why I'm not doing a rhythm change here is because I'm trying to identify the exact note that is causing me to do the flail. A rhythm change technique in practicing this is not, I feel would not necessarily yield the result that I'm actually looking for. So that's why I was going between fast and slow, because I wanted to compare the difference in what my fingers are doing when I'm going fast versus when I'm going slow. Yeah. Does that make sense? So it's not that my fingers don't know where to go, but it's more that my fingers are doing something weird. Yeah. They're definitely doing something weird while I'm playing. Yeah. Anyway, I feel like I have like, I've just gotten like a good grip of what that is. So we're going to leave that until Monday, essentially. Because I don't want to beat the dead horse to death. So let's continue. Sean, you're absolutely correct. When you do a forked fingering, which means that you're lifting the left hand second finger, it is very easy to accidentally change the position of your hand. So I think I need to get used to, I would not have thought of that myself. I just knew that it had something to do with the F. And I think you hit the nail right on the head. So, because I definitely noticed that here in this passage. Because this is another passage that has given me grief recently. So maybe this might be the key to figuring it out. So I'm going to go slow, fast again to just kind of like see what that finger is doing. So I can try shifting the balance and focus to the right hand first finger. That has to be down on F anyway. Oh, as like a counterbalance, right? Is that what you mean? That's an interesting way of doing it. That absolutely stabilizes it. Wow. I never would have thought of that myself. Thank you, Sean. Thank you. What would I do without you guys? I don't even know. A little messy up on top, So those blips are caused by balance issues. So I have to be very aware of like which fingers should actually give more weight. That's an interesting concept. Oh, okay. That's pretty clean. I like that. I like that. Okay, I need to sleep on this a little bit. This is new concept to me. So in the C sharp trill in particular, with the C sharp trill in particular, the flute wants to roll in if you don't at least slightly rockstro. Yeah, right, because of the weight of it, right? The weight of the C sharp trill. Oh, that's really interesting. Okay. We're scrolling up a little bit to that part that I said that I was going to be done with, but now I want to try it with like the stabilizing the balance of the flute on the F with the right hand index. I want to try that now. Okay, I'm not used to how it feels, but god dang, that is way cleaner. And like the flute doesn't wobble as much. Yeah, you notice that? Clean. And it's because the issue that I have been finding with these two spots has been that like I feel like the flute's just wobbling. And it's like, how do you make it clean if it's just wobbling? Sean, MVP, thank you so much. I would have never thought of using like my right hand fingers to stabilize the flute, because all I'm trying to think of is just be light as possible, as light as possible. So like I'm trying to make it so that all my fingers are really, really light. But what happens is this balance issue where like if you lift your finger here, it does offset the balance. So you need something to counterbalance it. So I'm not putting a ton of weight. It's just enough to stabilize it. That's it. It's like, it kind of feels like I'm like walking on a tightrope, you know? Woo! That's a major discovery. Oh, this is the original Roger Holman flute flag. So if you look up here, let me find his site for you. You do need to, he's a little bit on the more traditional side of payment systems. So I believe you will have to actually like email him directly. But let me just give you his direct site. If you want the one that I have, it is this. There you go. There you go, Eric. Physics is so much. You never would have thought about it that much. I know, same here, Ruth. It makes sense though, because like I was noting that it was like, it's when I hit the Fs, Because at first I thought it was the D's, but the reason why I thought it was the D's was because the D's always came right before or right after F's. And then I was like, maybe it's the F's, you know? And yeah, Sean's tip here to just, it's not a lot of weight. It's just enough to stabilize the flute. Like don't go slamming your finger down, but like it's just enough to stabilize the flute. Ooh, I'm gonna have to get used to that next week, I think. That's clean. That's clean. Okay, I need to just get used to that concept right now, I think. Holy cow, that's a major, major discovery. Thank you so much, Sean. Thank you. Holy, okay, now I'm like really excited to try the rest of this because now I want to see how stable the rest of this feels. Sean, thank you so much. I like legit never would have thought of that. Never. Would have never crossed my mind. What the heck? Okay. I just straight up forgot the fingerings there, guys. Too. Definitely some balance stuff there. So I'm experimenting with how much weight to put on which finger. Legit, that is the most stable that has ever felt. So I'm like feeling out where it feels unsteady and then like just by a hair, just stabilizing the flute with my right hand. Because most of the unstable parts are of a result of my left hand fingers. Wild. Whoop, whoop. It is coming back to me. Right? You would think that me being a professional musician, I would think about that more too, right? And yet, see, this is why, like, I enjoy this hive mind that is happening. Wow, that is wild. I'm still not used to it. I can feel that I'm not used to it. So it's going to take a little while, I think, for me to get used to the feeling. I think, let me just do one more quick section and then we'll be good for Ibert. Hello. Can I say your real name? Oh, I can. Hi, Adam. Hello, Adam, Betty, and Manna. How are you? How are you? Okay, I just made a huge, no, I didn't make a discovery. Sean just told me. Okay, I learned a new big, massive thing. So there are certain notes that I'm playing that I feel like my flute's just going like this. And super easy, simple solution, because anytime my flute is wobbling like this, it's probably because of some shenanigan in the left hand. So the biggest culprit seems to be if I play a forked fingering. So if my second finger is lifted, but I am also noticing it if my index finger is lifted, it kind of offsets the balance of the flute. So especially if the fingering involves other fingers on the right hand, you can very subtly stabilize the flute with the fingers on the right hand. So not a ton of weight, but just enough to stabilize it. And man, it makes it so much easier. Holy cow. It never occurred to me to do that. Crazy. Yeah, practice with me. Yay. Okay. Woo. Okay, we're gonna do another section. I think it even helps in chromatic scales, but I have yet to really figure out exactly how it feels. Okay, if I stabilize my right index and ring when I'm ripping up the chromatic scale up high on the F and the F sharp, it just stabilizes the whole thing. It works, and I'm not used to it because I'm so used to those fingers just trying to be as light as possible. But if I just stabilize the flute, it's just a hair to stabilize it. It's so clean. Oh, all right. In the last 5.5 minutes, we're going to try this on Genshin. Let's try it on Rapid as Wildfires. Because same concept. There are a lot of D naturals in here that I feel really like high D naturals that offset the feeling of stability. So I think I'm gonna make sure that I, like on the next notes, that I stabilize it with the right hand. Okay. This thing is not, am I on the wrong screen? Yeah, I am. Okay. Yes, it works. I probably needed more air at the end there, but yeah, that works. It's so subtle. Sean, you're absolutely right. It's so subtle. It's almost like you're not doing it. You just have to think about stabilizing it, and that's it. That is nuts. That is nuts how well that works. Because I was having the same problem here. What the heck? Okay.
stable.
That has absolutely never felt so stable. It could be slightly psychological, but I do feel like it feels different. Like when you just think about stabilizing the flute with the opposite hand, that works. That absolutely works. Oh, Eric, thank you so much for saying that. I do appreciate it. There we go. Okay, turned off my pedal there. Okay, I do need to start cleaning up because I need to go and have lunch with John very soon. So let's head back to this screen and then you guys can watch me clean up. You know, it could be partially psychological, but I do actually think I'm doing something physically different. Yeah, it can go the other way around, whichever hand has the least going on. Exactly. That's what I was kind of like messing around with on the in Genshin. I was like, because sometimes you feel like the right hand is the unstable one, so you just kind of stabilize it very subtly with the left hand. My God, makes such a difference. Because I would say that was kind of my next big problem that I wanted to solve, because I think a lot of my insecurity with the Ibert has to do with the fact that throughout a lot of it, I feel like my flute's just wobbling. So I'm very excited to try this trick on the third movement, because the third movement, that is really where things get dicey. Like I feel like I'm wobbling all over the place on the third movement. Woo! That, seriously, Sean, thank you so much. I will absolutely credit you with whenever I teach this, I will absolutely credit you. I'm going to say that it absolutely is, you know, Sean the flutist told me in chat. That is massive. That absolutely, like, that just straight up solves that problem. So the issue now is that I have to practice it. I have to, this has to become my like normal mode of playing. So that's going to be fun. We're going to be slipping and sliding between this new way of playing and my old way of playing. It's to be expected. That's the way it works when you learn a new skill. You're going to slip and slide between your old habits and your new habits for at least a couple of weeks, depending on the severity of how different and new the new skill is. The more different and the newer the skill is to you compared to your old habit, the longer it usually takes for it to solidify into your normal way of playing. I would say this is subtle enough that I could probably turn it into my normal way of playing in 2 weeks, I want to say. And then what I can expect is that on my bad days, my bad flute days, I will probably sink back into my old habit of letting the flute wobble. So that's typically what happens. On a bad day, your body will just go right back to all, or like the most recent bad habits. So for me, this will be my most recent bad habit. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, seriously, thank you, Sean. It is actually kind of amazing how much we do or not do without realizing it. There's a lot of, because there's a lot that goes into playing an instrument in general that requires like basically a ton of multitasking. which, you know, that's why a lot of people say it's really good for kids to learn, you know, et cetera, because it can help kids learn how to focus, learn how to multitask, you know, all that good stuff. But yeah, I mean, another way to learn to multitask, you know, inventory management and, you know, staying organized, on the ball, focused and stuff like that. Actually, it's video games. Video games are very good for that, but kids do tend to get a little bit obsessed. So you have to kind of regulate how often kids get to play video games. But it does help develop a lot of these skills that are very useful. So implicit memory. I haven't heard of that term before. Implicit memory. Oh, automatic. So like muscle memory, essentially. Information we do not store purposefully and is unintentionally memorized. Oh, unintentionally memorized. Interesting. We cannot consciously bring that memory into awareness. Oh, so not muscle memory. It is something that's just in your memory without you even intentionally memorizing it. Yeah. I would say that you can describe my flute bad habits, old habits like that. Yeah. So what you mean by psychological, Vlad? I see you just like changed your name to Vlad. Okay, is that now? You have physical solution for the wobble, so you replace the fear of the wobble with focusing on the counter to it. Yes, I do agree with you. I absolutely agree with you. Yes, because now I actually have a solution to the problem, right? So having a solution to the problem just immediately gives me an insane amount of like feeling of security. Implicit memory, the entire script of Rush Hour 1 and 2 devoted to memory. Is that what has Rush Hour 1 and 2 become a part of your implicit memory? Yeah, I do really like Rush Hour. Classic, just classic slapstick humor, man. It's, I think for me, it's Lord of the Rings. I have so much of it it's just there in my head. And I don't know why. Like, I have that and a lot of the behind the scenes just in my head, just cemented into my brain. You know, we'll see memes or videos online that like have like very subtle allusions to Lord of the Rings and making subtle jokes and stuff like that. So recently, John and I watched Sean Astin and Elijah Wood playing Baldur's Gate. There's like a little clip on YouTube. It's so cute. And they made so many references to Lord of the Rings. I got every single one. And John's sitting next to me going, oh, is that referring to something? And I'm like, yes! It's like a major part of the story. Or sometimes it's like a little more subtle too. But like, yeah, I think for me it's Lord of the Rings. Just fully cemented into my brain. Lord of the Rings is in my implicit memory too, I guess. Anyway, I better go grab lunch with John. Thank you all so much for joining. Please stay happy, healthy, and safe because there's no music without the musicians. So make sure you all take care of yourselves. Have a wonderful weekend. I'm not streaming over the weekend. I will be streaming on Monday though. So I will come out with a stream schedule this afternoon. But yeah, other than that, you guys, I love y'all so much. Thank you so much for helping me. Thank you for making me a better flutist. I definitely feel like a better flutist after today. And yeah, here's to many more weeks of just absolute fun nerdiness with you guys. All right? All right. Laters. Love you guys. Bye.